Well, here we are, shoot the shit with DSP. It's a Friday morning. It's a pretty good morning. At least I think so. How's it going for you? Do me a favor, say hi in the comments. Make sure you're logged into your Google account so you can participate in the chat. That you can ask me questions. You can give me comments. You can say hi. Give me a good morning. Let's see here. We've got Steve Eller in the house. Steve Eller, good morning. Great day to create content for restaurant transformation. Hell yeah. Hells to the yeah. We've got a bunch who have joined me this morning. I understand that the tile wasn't showing up for some strange reason, but as I've gone live, it is showing up for everybody, and you are making your way here. Do me a favor, say good morning. No, there's a bit of a delay. Here we go. Deja Wakefield is in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Listen to your podcast with Eric this morning. That was really interesting. Thanks, man. For those of you who don't know, go look for Restaurant Prosperity Formula podcast found on all your popular podcasting services. And here on YouTube, you can find those tiles and watch any episode if you don't want to just listen. We got Bruce Earls in the house. Good morning, Bruce from Margin Edge. What up? What up? Understand I'll be making some content for you guys here. I've got some ideas Steve's been working on for me. I'll hopefully get those done this weekend, and you'll have something to use. We got Kim Newsom in the house. What's up, Kim? It's been a while. I think it's been a while. Pompous Pig, what is happening? What is happening? We've got, let's see here. Who else is here? Jenny Brooks is in the house. What up, Jenny? What side of the United States are you playing in today? You're somewhere. Kind of like, well, where's Waldo? We'll find you somewhere. All right, we're going to get started here in a second. But again, if you are joining in just now, make sure you're in the right place for Shoot the Shit with DSP. We'll get started here in just a second. Make sure you're logged into your Google account so that you can participate in the chat. Otherwise, let's get going. Welcome to Shoot the Shit with DSP. STS with DSP happens every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, travel schedule permitting. We're going to invest about 30 minutes out of your day to get pumped about the upcoming week and get excited about crushing your goals and finding the motivation to be the best you possible. Plus, I'll answer your burning questions. I'm Dave Scott Peters, creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula and your coach. Today, we're going to talk about the power of delegation, training, and coaching in your restaurant. Now, again, before I get started, make sure you're logged into your Google account so that you can participate in the chat. We've got some more good mornings here before I get started here. Mary DeLeon's in the house. What up, Mary? Good to have you, as always. And Melanie, what's up? Good morning from Mel Beach, Florida. Where's Mel Beach, Florida? I've been up and down Florida. I don't know where Mel Beach is. Jenny says, I'm on West Side this week. Jetting to fly over states tomorrow. All right. I hope you have a safe flight tomorrow and a good visit. Viper X says, with the AI internet resources available to restaurant owners, why do most of the operations single-digit profit margin and adequate? What? Don't be spamming my channel, man. You want to get your own channel and you want to spam your own stuff? God bless you, but don't do it here. Okay? I appreciate you. You can be here to participate. You can be here to learn, but don't be spamming my channel. Let's get started. If you're a restaurant owner or manager, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the topic that could be a game changer for your business: the importance of delegation, training, and coaching your team members. Let me ask you something. How many of you find yourselves doing everything because, well, you don't think your team can handle it? I know that feeling. Today, I'm going to show you why that mindset is holding you back and doing your team a disservice. I see this all the time. Restaurant owners and managers running around like a chicken with their head cut off because they're afraid to delegate. I get it. Sometimes it feels like it's easier just to do it yourself. But when you take on everything, you're not just burning yourself out, you're also stifling your team's growth. Let me give you a real world example. This week, I was on a budget call with one of my members, Michael. He operates several high volume restaurants and in one of them, he's been running with no general manager and no real kitchen leadership all summer long. He's been piecing things together with shift managers and line cooks. Now, He has some good people working for him. But because he felt like, well, he understood what his team members could do well and what they didn't do well, instead of fully empowering them, he kept taking tasks on himself because he didn't feel they were ready. Michael told me he was trying to protect his team from failure. But in doing so, he was making the decision for them that they couldn't handle the responsibility. This didn't just overwhelm him, it sent a message to his managers that he didn't trust them. And that's a heavy message, even if it's not what you intended. We talked a lot about delegation. Delegation doesn't mean dumping tasks and hoping for the best. It's about training and coaching your team properly. Michael's challenge was that he'd been doing things himself for so long that he found it hard to trust anyone else to do it right. He had capable people, but without proper training and coaching, they were stuck in the same cycle. Michael shared that, he had started taking the steps in the right direction by training his managers weekly, but he was still fighting the urge to, take over and still not give them tasks he felt they couldn't do. One of his key realizations was that systems and processes need to be in place to guide them. Training is like teaching someone to drive. You wouldn't just hand them the keys and say, good luck. You guide them, coach them, and let them practice until they get it. And you have to do the same with your team. Here's the hard truth. You have to let your team struggle a little. That's right. You have to let your team struggle just a little. You have to let them be uncomfortable. When you do new things, it's uncomfortable. And that's okay. That's where growth happens. To illustrate my point, I told him about my daughter. Now, when she was younger, she played club volleyball for many years. She played in high school, and she played a couple years in college before she left to become a tattoo artist. She was a really good athlete, strong and quick. Man, I can't tell you enough. I loved watching her play. But to help her hone in her skills, we'd get her privates from middle school throughout high school. We knew that she wanted to be the best she could be. We knew in order to do that, we needed to get her some private coaching. We needed to help her through that process to learn to become better. When she was learning a new shot, like a cut shot, where you hit it literally from one end of the front row to the other end of the front row instead of a deep back in the court. I could tell you she would go up. The first time she'd be taught that shot, she'd go up and she'd get frustrated. She'd hit it wrong, hit it wrong, hit it wrong, even to a point where her frustration would get her to break down, like to tears. And as a parent, that is so hard to watch. Because when she didn't get it in that first couple tries, man, she just felt so frustrated and I could tell you, I could feel her frustration. She wanted to be great, and she wanted to be great right away. That kind of pressure that she put on herself was just overwhelming. But after months of practice, hitting that cut shot, hitting that cut shot, hitting the cut shot, she mastered it and was cutting balls across the net like a pro, gaining points, feeling confident, doing great. That's exactly how your team members learn. They need to take swings at problems and be allowed to fail before they get it right. Just because you can't do something after you've been shown a few times doesn't mean you can't learn and eventually master it with the right coaching. There's the key word, coaching. Michael's managers, especially those who had been on the line for decades, needed to step up, but they couldn't if he kept swooping in to save the day. Let them struggle, guide them, and this is how they're going to grow. Michael's biggest hurdle was trust. He was used to micromanaging because he didn't believe his team could handle it. He was making a decision for his managers that they couldn't do something before they even had a chance to learn. But you have to trust and verify. That's why you need systems in place for everything you do, from checklists to ordering systems. They allow you to monitor progress without being overbearing. I asked Michael, have you asked your managers for help? See, sometimes we we just try and take it all on ourselves. We take the load, the heavy load on our shoulders. We don't ask for help. Whether it's we think it's a sign of weakness, maybe we've never done it before, maybe we just don't know how. But sometimes the best way to get your team engaged is to simply ask for their input and support. Accountability isn't about catching them when they slip. It's about guiding them back on track. So I suggested Michael hold a meeting and lay things out. Say, hey, team, hey, managers, I can't do X, Y, Z anymore. I can't do it on my own. I need your help. To discover if anybody would raise their hand and say, I'm there. If you've got a great company culture, they're going to be there for you. And this would be the first step in changing that dynamic for him. It's about creating a culture where your managers know what their job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, more importantly, by when. Then hold them accountable, not by micromanaging, but coaching them to success. A good friend of mine and one of my member mentors, David Militello, says the first lesson he learned from me 20 years ago when he sat in a seminar I put on in Las Vegas, a workshop, 4-day workshop in Las Vegas, the first contact we had together. He said right then and there, he realized what his role needed to be when I told the audience, told him specifically, you need to become a coach. Your job is to coach your team, not to do the work. And that's been his journey ever since. And he's one of the most successful restaurant owners I know. So here's my challenge to you today. Stop holding your team back. Stop making decisions for them that they can't do something. Delegate, train, coach, and trust. Trust and verify. Let them struggle a bit. Let them figure it out. They might surprise you, just like Michael's managers will start to surprise him now that he's going to let go. Remember, your job is to develop the next generation of leaders. If you keep doing everything, you'll never be able to step back, and your restaurant will never reach its full potential. And as always, if you need help on your journey, reach out. We're here to help. We're here to help you achieve restaurant prosperity, freedom from your restaurant, the financial freedom you deserve. That concludes my portion of Shoot the Shit with DSP. Now it's time for your comments, your questions. We've got some already, some good mornings that I missed, I think. Let's see here. Melanie, Mel Beach, you answered that question. Where was that? You said it is in Melbourne Beach. I don't know where that is. Sorry. All right, here we go. Good morning from Daryl. Good morning. Wonderful to have you here. Jim Upchurch is in the house. What up, Jim? I haven't watched it yet, but I saw you posted a video and you told Matt Plapp that you want to see his move. So I've got to watch that video. I was literally scrolling before I got on this call, so I will watch it. It has been a while, my friend. All right. Okay, I'm sorry, misunderstood because I could not see it all, Viper X. Let's see. Let's try this again. I'm going to need my glasses so I can read the whole thing. With all the AI and internet resources available to restaurant owners, why do most operators live in a single-digit profit margin and antiquated business models? AI has nothing to do with it, dude. It has to do with your system, your process, your way in place. I can't tell you enough that it starts with a budget. AI is not creating my budget for me. Might help you create a template. But the fact of the matter is, you've got to know your numbers, and then you've got to decide what systems you're going to put in place, how quickly you're going to get in place, how much time you're to give your team to get it to master it, and what the results are going to be. I'll tell you, it has nothing to do with AI. It has to do with lack of leadership. I'm going to tell you right away. I mean, if you were to read my book, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, What Successful Restaurateurs Do, the very first piece of the restaurant prosperity formula is leadership. If you had asked me 20 years ago, what are the top reasons restaurants fail? I would have told you it's because they opened the restaurant undercapitalized and they were over couponing. Back then, that was the case. Then as years went on, I would have told you it's food costs, labor cost. But if you ask me today, I would tell you it's lack of leadership. And just because you own a restaurant doesn't make you a born leader. You must become the leader your restaurant needs. And that's where systems come in. Systems make up for our weakness. If I'm the giver, I'm the social worker, the person who cares more about the guest and my employees and not about the numbers. The systems give me budgets and targets and KPIs, and I makes me a leader because now it pulls me over, making them overlap. That I have skills from both sides. If I'm a numbers person, impatient with people, I don't communicate what I want for my guest satisfaction and so on. When I put systems in place, training systems, customer service, sales, all those things, it pulls me over, takes the numbers person and makes me now the coach, the leader my restaurant needs, because systems make up for our leadership weaknesses. That's my answer. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, we've got, where am I now? Carolyn says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Where are you coming from? Daryl says, we are getting ready to hire a lead person for our bar/kitchen. How do you go about finding the right person? I would love to move someone up from our current staff, but if I don't know, I don't know if I can. Okay. If I could learn how to read. So I'm going to tell you, this is one thing, a lesson that I teach my members, and I probably have a YouTube video on this channel that goes through it. But what I like to do is stop the vicious cycle of us picking who we think is going to be the next best supervisor, the next best manager. We take our best employees, usually our best employee, the person we love the most, somebody who's usually very much like us, and we talk them into becoming a manager. Don't you want to be a manager? No, I don't want to be a manager. Don't you want to be a manager? No, I don't want to be a manager. I really need your help. You'd be great. You want to be a manager? No, I don't want to be a manager. And we beat them down till they go, okay, I'll be a manager. We take our best employee and make them our worst employee. In 6 months to a year, our best employee became our worst employee. They quit or get fired. We do this perpetually over and over and over again. Every now and then you get lucky. Every now and then you get lucky, but for the most part, take your best employee, make him your worst. Why? Because they never should have been a manager. They didn't want to be. You talked them into it. You got to want to be. It's a different skill set. It's a different part, time in your life. Managing people is not easy. So what I would do is post in your server alley, your employee bulletin board, whatever you've got, special projects. Anybody interested in doing special projects, come find me. Let people volunteer and raise their hand, say, I'm interested in doing more. Let them raise their hand. Don't go to your best employee, hey, make sure you do one of these special projects. No. Don't think my worst employee will never become a manager for me. They can't do special projects. No. Some of those people, they're class clowns. They're acting out because they're bored. They want something more. They need something more. So you let them raise their hand. You got to pay them at least minimum wage. They do some projects for you. Now, you got plenty of shit to do. You got checklists to do. You got recipe costing cards. You've got, you name it. There's training systems. You've got a lot to do. And you could use the help. Now, somebody's going to do a bad job. You're going to be like, dude, thanks for your help. I don't need your help anymore. Did I bruise them? Did I make them feel bad? Did I say, hey, you didn't get a job? No. I said, thank you for your help. I don't need it right now. Got plenty. Somebody does a great job with these tasks. You go, hey, man, have you ever thought becoming a supervisor, a lead, what I call an MIT, manager in training? 3 days a week in your current role and 2 days a week as a supervisor, plain clothes, as a manager on the floor. And I'd pay you for it at a manager wage for those 2 shifts. Somebody's going to go, nah, I don't want to do that. Okay. Well, I got some good tasks out of them. They're helpful. And in the future, I know people willing to help. Go to the next person. You ever thought about becoming an MIT, a supervisor, lead, whatever you want to call them? And they say yes. And then I train them to be a key turner, open and close the restaurant. Eventually, I give them more skills, till eventually, when the next assistant manager position comes up, I've got multiple people to choose from. I always want 2 or 3 of these people. So if it were me, that's what I would follow. Let them volunteer. Let them show you, audition for the job before they even know they're being asked to do the job. Takes a little patience, but it's a great way to do it. All right, let's see here. Huddy's Bagels. I like bagels. I like bagels a lot. Hi, new to you. Loving your book. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. A lot of love went into that book. I wanted to make sure it wasn't a textbook. It was a roadmap for you to be successful. Toby says, "Good morning, sir." Good morning, you, Toby. It is wonderful to have you here. Huddy's Bagel says, "Do you find that bagel shops have different set of circumstances with budgets and profit?" Yes, every restaurant has different circumstances. For instance, any bakery slash bagel shop, depending on the bagel shop you're doing, if you're doing a lot of, high-end sandwiches and, other food, you're going to fall more into regular restaurant versus if I'm just doing lots of bagels, lots of to-go bagels, just a lot of schmear, or I'm a bakery, what we tend to find is the cost of goods sold is really low, but the labor is really high. So if you do $850,000 a year or more in sales, my prime cost target for you, which is total cost of goods sold, food, and for anybody else who has a bar, food, NA Bev, liquor, bottle beer, draft beer, wine, merchandise, all your cost of goods sold total, plus total labor costs, including taxes, benefits, insurance, your managers, you add those together, my goal for you is 55% or down. The higher your sales, the lower that goes. So I could run a higher food cost, lower labor costs. I could do the opposite, higher labor costs, lower food costs. As long as I've got 55 points, I'm good. If I lower that in sales, I'm looking at 60%. So the answer is yes, a resounding yes, that it's different for every restaurant based on your core values, where you're located, style of service, product, quality of product, like all the pricing, all the things that go into that. But you get 55 points. That's kind of the answer. And if you buy my book, I'll walk you through exactly that. Or if you want to reach out and learn more about our coaching program or scour my YouTube channel, there's a ton of stuff. I put weekly tips out. You can scour and listen to my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula. You can go to my website, davidscottpeters.com, read my blog. There's lots of free content out there for people to navigate. But we'd also love to help you if ever you want it. Let's see here. Vapor says, "Thank you, DSP. You're welcome." And I apologize if I overreacted. I was reading it quick and I'm like, I don't need somebody promoting AI restaurant shit on my thing. Daryl says, "Thank you. You are welcome." Toby says, "How do you get the most out of your employees without micromanaging?" Well, pretty easy. Easy in theory, hard in reality. And it's not that the process is hard, it's that you're managing people and you have to have patience. So, one of the things people always say to me is, "David, my employees hate rules." I say, "Bullshit. They love rules. What they hate is the inconsistency in management enforcing those rules." Hey, people say to me all the time, "My people are idiots." That's bullshit. We don't find idiots. We create idiots. You're telling me when you interviewed that person, you went, "Man, this is a freaking idiot. I want to hire them." No, you thought, "Man, this person should fit my culture. They'd be really good in this role. I can't wait to have them on my team." Oh, all of a sudden they're an idiot because we didn't have a system, a process, a way to doing anything and everything in our business. We didn't take the time to properly train them. We didn't ensure that we're coaching them on a daily basis, letting them know what they're doing wrong and correcting the behavior and telling them what they're doing right on a daily basis. See, when I teach you what your job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, more important by when, and you demonstrate back to me that you can do it, not I showed you 3 times. That was the whole point of this lesson today. I don't show you 3 times and I hope you better get it. I stay with you until you can demonstrate you do understand it, what the job is, how to do it, how well it should be done. More importantly, by when each one of the tasks whether you're a server, a cashier, a driver, a cook, does not matter. I give you the one new thing, a manager, the one new thing, and you show me you got it. You don't have to ask any more questions. Now, all of a sudden, I can hold you instead of accountable, I hold you answerable. That's my definition. If you know what your job is, you make a decision of whether you're going to do your job or not, and you're answerable for the resulting consequences. When I'm that freaking clear with my team, there is no, "Well, you never told me I was supposed to take inventory every week after you've taken inventory successfully 24 weeks in a row. In week 25, you didn't do it." When I call you on it, you're not going to go, "I didn't know." You're going to go, "Shit, I'm sorry. It'll never happen again." So micromanagement, just so we're clear, is when you say, "Give it to me, I'm going to do it." when you're always making the decisions for people, again, a part of what we talked about today, if I don't allow people to make certain mistakes. Now, do understand that I will not let you make a mistake that hurts you, hurts the customer, hurts the business. But there is more than a straight line between point A and point B. There can be a jagged bunch of rows and left turns and right turns, but as long as I get from point A to point B, why is that wrong? Maybe by taking all the left and right turns until I get there, I realize that your way is actually more efficient and I learn. So it really comes down to, again, with the message today, you've got to be coaching your team. Micromanaging, again, is me do it for you. Give it to me. Do not think that there's not checking up and follow up when I delegate. And it's not micromanagement. Hey, you were supposed to have this done by Friday. I don't get to Friday and go, did you get to do it done? No. Excuse. Wednesday, I go, hey, how's it coming? They say, great. You betcha. You say, great. Show me. Not, I don't believe you. Show me. And you might learn that they don't know how to do it. You might learn that they never started because you're short another employee. You may learn that they're doing a great job. Either way, I'm ensuring I'm along the process checking in on them to make sure they're successful. So it comes down to you becoming a better coach, your team, your managers becoming better coaches. Our role is to be coaches. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see here. Huddy says, thank you. Yes, we are interested in more support. Well, fantastic. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to find a thing. I'm going to self-promote. If you don't mind, it's my channel. So here we go. If you'd like to learn more about our coaching programs, we have two now. We used to have one that was a high level, often a bigger investment for most. We've changed how people enter. It's much easier to do so. And we've got a program for those with lower volumes, no implementers. So lots of opportunity. What you want to do is go to https://dsp.coach/talk-to-Ryan. And it'll put you on Ryan James's calendar. He's one of our member mentors. He's somebody who's been through the program. He owns several restaurants, kicks ass. He has enough time to surf, see his kids' stuff. He's no longer in the restaurants on a day-to-day basis, meaning required. When he chooses to go in, he loves prep and he's a chef. He loves to go in there, go into his commissary kitchen and create specials, things like that. So you can be like him too. We'd love to help you. Go to dsp.coach/talk-to-Ryan. And happy to be there. Thanks for asking. How are we doing on time? We're tail end. I probably have time for one more question if somebody has one. Now I'm going to give you bad news. Good news for me. I'm going to Germany, leaving next Friday. So there's no shoot the shit next Friday to participate and compete in World's Masters Regatta. So I've got 10 races over 5 days. And then my wife and I are going to be traveling Europe. So there is no shoot the shit until Friday, September 27th. There's going to be a gap. My team will still be around to help you. I will still be posting videos because I pre-record them and release them. There'll still be podcasts coming out. So don't worry, there'll be content coming, but you won't have Shoot the Shit with DSP until Friday, September 27th. Sorry about that, but I've got a race to go try and win. I've got 10 races in 5 days. So hopefully I get an opportunity. You don't get a medal for second or third. I got to win it. So hopefully I come back with at least one gold. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you. I see there are no more questions. I hope the respite, you don't forget about me since there's no Shoot the Shit until September 27th. But go out there, kick some ass, know that I appreciate you, and we're here to help. Peace.